The chair was always there. It stood at the end of the table, close to the window. For many years, someone sat there every evening. The family never thought much about it. It was just part of dinner. Plates on the table, warm food, quiet talk. But one evening, the chair stayed empty. The family sat down as usual. The mother placed the plates on the table. The father poured water into the glasses. The children took their seats without thinking. Then everything became still. No one spoke. The empty chair felt louder than words. It felt heavier than the food on the plates. The sound of spoons touching bowls felt too sharp. The mother looked at the chair for a moment. She turned away quickly. Her hands moved fast, as if staying busy could stop her thoughts. She told everyone to eat before the food got cold. The father cleared his throat. He nodded and picked up his spoon, but he did not eat much. His eyes kept moving back to the empty space. The children felt it too. They were young, but they understood something was wrong. They did not ask questions. They did not laugh like before. They ate slowly and quietly. Before this day, dinner was noisy. There were stories from school. There were jokes and small arguments. There was always a feeling of togetherness. Now, there was only silence. The empty chair belonged to the grandmother. She used to sit there every night. She spoke softly, but everyone listened. She smiled even when she was tired. She always asked if everyone had enough to eat. She had been sick for a long time. The family hoped she would get better. They believed it until the very end. After she was gone, the house felt different. Rooms felt larger and colder. Her voice seemed to stay in the walls. Her cup still sat in the cupboard. Her scarf still hung by the door. But the chair at the table was the hardest part. The first dinner without her felt unreal. It felt like she might walk in at any moment, like she was just late, like she would sit down and say sorry with a gentle smile. But she did not come. Days passed, then weeks. The chair stayed empty every night. At first, no one wanted to talk about it. They thought silence was safer. They thought words would make the pain stronger. The mother cooked the same meals as before. She followed the same routines. She tried to keep things normal, but her eyes were often red. The father stayed at work longer. When he came home, he looked tired. He ate quickly and left the table early. Sometimes he stood near the window and stared outside. The children felt lost. They missed the warm feeling at dinner. They missed the stories and laughter. They missed their grandmother's voice. One evening, the youngest child spoke. It was very quiet at the table. The sound of chewing felt too loud again. The child looked at the empty chair, then at the mother, then at the father. "I miss her," the child said softly. The words hum in the air. No one moved. No one spoke. The mother put down her spoon. Her hands began to shake. Tears filled her eyes. "I miss her too," she said. The father looked down at his plate. His face tightened. He took a deep breath. "She used to sit there," he said slowly, "every night." The children nodded. For the first time since she was gone, they talked about her. They shared small memories, the way she laughed, the way she cut fruit for them, the way she told the same stories again and again. The pain did not disappear, but something changed. The silence became softer. The next night, they did not rush through dinner. They stayed at the table longer. They talked more. The empty chair was still there, but it no longer felt like a wall. It felt like a reminder. Sometimes the mother placed a small flower on the table near the chair. Sometimes the father told a story about the past. Sometimes the children laughed again. There were still hard days. Some nights no one felt like talking. Some nights tears came without warning. But they learned something important. The chair would always be empty. That would never change. But their hearts did not have to be empty. One evening, the family made a quiet promise. They would sit together every night. They would talk even when it was hard. They would remember even when it hurt. The chair stayed where it was. No one removed it, no one replaced it. It became part of their story. The empty chair taught them how to feel again, how to share sadness, how to heal together. And every night, as they sat at the table, they felt that love does not leave, it only changes its place.